to the Village Railroad. For your personal safety, please remain seated while the train's in motion. Keep your head, arms, legs, and feet inside the cars at all times. Parents, if you boarded with little ones, please place yourselves on the outside of the row. If that is not practical, make sure they're held or easily within your reach. There's also no eating or drinking of any beverages except for bottled water while on the train. We'll say goodbye to Denise and Hans here for getting us out on time. We now begin our journey to our place in our Susquehanna station. Farmhouse that we'll be approaching was the birthplace of Henry Ford. He was born here July 30th, 1863. The farm was located just outside of Detroit, and the family raised sheep. If you ever have a chance, stop by the farmhouse. You can go inside and see what life was like for Henry growing up here as a young boy. Now, if you look to your left, just past the farmhouse, you can look down on our main street. Here you'll find the Ford Motor Company, Mary Cohen's Millinery, our 1913 Herschel Spillman Carousel, the Wright Cycle Shop, the Wright Home, and our frozen custard ice cream stand. Approaching Monroe Park. This was Thomas Edison's laboratory in New Jersey. He's credited with over 1,000 patents for this facility. You're welcome to stop by, stroll the grounds, and even go inside. Today they are showing Edison's prototype for his phonograph.
I want to take a look at that baseball.
Now, if you look to your left across the street, the yellow building is the Sarah Jordan boarding house. This is where all the single young men that worked for Edison would stay and live, and was one of the first few buildings that Edison had electrified. Next to it is his Fort Myers, Florida laboratory. When we get too cold in New Jersey, we will go to Florida to continue his experiment. We're now approaching the Eckley Bridge. This is our gateway into our Porches and Parlors district. From Susquehanna Station, you can go up the hill into Noah Webster's home. He is credited with giving us our first American dictionary that took over 25 years to complete. Or you can stroll down Maple Lane to see all the homes here in the village. You can even go up to Cotswold Cottage if you wish to have tea and scones this afternoon. Now, as we come into Susquehanna Station, we can say hi to Mike, Station Master here. And again, I ask everyone to please remain seated until we come to a complete stop. Once the whistle sounds, it will be safe to exit on the left-hand side. This is also the station if you're going to see the World Series. This is where you will get off. You just go up the hill, down the hill, and toward that girl. It is now safe to exit on the left-hand side.
Yeah. So what it is this tournament, and this is the last game of the season, from what I understand. The last time I've seen it. So they've got like green keys, and they're taking green keys to drop them down with the final keys.
Mia, that'll be fun to see, won't it? The baseball
It's like kids right after the clock. That's what someone's looking at. What? Yeah. When I told him to turn around and come back. Yeah, it's actually a Fort Proving ground. Is it? Yeah, it's where they test sheet models out there. Yeah. So they'll take trucks or larger cars. They'll run them around the tracks and whatnot. They got a bunch of rangers inside the truck. Doing all the compliance. It's like the yeah, it's fine. And then
gotta go potty.
there's a
If you got here first, I don't think you're pretty much right there. If you were in line at like 10 minutes,
There is life after hockey.
It says rain starting in 7 minutes.
it's gonna drop you off over
6 lasting for 32.
Well, actually,
I don't think it's gonna be 32.
the next station is in like the back of the next one.
I don't see minutes on it. I think it's about 15 minutes away.
Yeah. But his dream was to play high school. You're right. Last year, you seen him? Was it the last year?
Yeah, the next round.
Torn
Yeah,
hockey
we need to
team.
get that one.
They didn't have one for years. He was so excited.
Win-win.
Get your whole family with their wristbands and you
I'm not even getting rid of one
Oh, we just got the suitcases out. Today's
They had such a great work. For those of you just joining us, welcome to the Greenfield Village Railroad. Once again, for your personal safety, please remain seated while the train's in motion. Keep your head, arms, legs, and feet inside the cars at all times. Parents, if you're boarding with little ones, please place yourselves on the outside of the row. If that is not practical, make sure they're held or easily within your reach. There's also no eating or drinking of beverages except for bottled water while on the train. We'll say goodbye to Mike here to bring us out on time. We now begin our journey around the village to the north side at Smith Creek. We're passing by our Susquehanna plantation. This comes from Tidewater, Maryland. And in the 1830s, their principal crops were corn and tobacco. We're now coming up to our Cape Cod windmill, built in 1649 to grind corn and wheat into flour. This is the last known original structure of its kind left in the United States. If you ever want to try colonial living, our Daggett farmhouse next to it predates the American Revolutionary War. It was built in 1754. If you ever have a chance, you can stop by, go inside. They'll be happy to tell you what life was like back in our colonial days. The engine pulling us this afternoon is our 1932 Edison. This was built by Mr. Ford at his Rouge complex for his very best friend, Thomas Edison. Approaching our nature reserve. This is over 20 acres of pristine forest that have been allowed to grow untouched by human hands. As we enter into the reserve, this will kind of give you an idea of what it was like to travel across the United States in the early days of the railroads. Before that time, our major means of transportation were by stagecoach, wagon, horseback, or even walking. With the coming of the railroads, the time spent traveling distances was dramatically reduced. Back then, if you were to travel between Detroit and Chicago by stagecoach, it would take on the average of 3 days or more of travel. With the usage of the railroads traveling the same distance, it could now be done in hours. Our baseball teams playing the old-time World Series here in Walnut Grove. What I'd like you to do when we come out of the reserve here will be to yell hoorah. We'll have to do it 2 times because there are 2 diamonds that are in use. So once we clear into the Walnut Grove, I'll count to 3, then I need everybody to scream hurrah. Okay, on the count of 3 now, loud as you can. 1, 2, 3. Hurrah! Okay, we're coming up to the other diamond now. Once again, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. We're now coming up to our Henry Ford Academy. To attend, you must be a resident of Wayne County. It is done on the lottery system, so if your name is drawn, you're allowed to attend here grades 9 through 12 for free. 9th grade starts at the academy next to the museum. The main building here is for grades 10 and 11. Now as we slowly go around the turn, you'll find 3 Pullman cars that have been combined into 3 large classrooms. This is where the seniors finish out their final year. Our academy will be starting in about a week and a half. We'll now be going by our Swanee Lagoon. This is only used now for flood control here in the village. Now as we climb the hill towards Smith Creek, if you look to your left, just past the stone building, you will see the Martha Mary Chapel. This was built by Mr. Ford in honor of his mother and mother-in-law. Throughout the year, we host a lot of weddings in the chapel. Next to it is our Taste of History, offering a wide variety of food, served cafeteria style. If you prefer a sit-down meal, Legal Tavern next to it was a stagecoach stop between Detroit and Chicago. Our wait staff are dressed in period clothing and the meals are brought to your table. The tavern is open until 3 p.m. this afternoon. Now as we come into Smith Creek, this can be your exit point to go 2 blocks over to the carousel. Down the hill, you can go to Ford Motor Company, right cycle shop. If you turn left at Town Hall, 1 block over will put you in Menlo Park. Down Junction, you can walk the front of the Roundhouse or to Liberty Craft Works to watch our artisans creating glass, pottery, printing, and weaving. Now as we come into Smith Creek, we can say hi to Mike and also to Conductor Bill, who will be taking over for a couple of turns. Again, I ask everybody to please remain seated until we come to a complete stop. Once the whistle sounds, it will be safe to exit on the left-hand side. Please, wait for that whistle. It's now safe to exit on the left-hand side.